Thanks very much, Tiff. They saw the championship points, provisional championship points on screen after that pre-final, with Mika Laiho taking the maximum of 34 points, Zendaruva 33 points. So they were the top two in the early championship rankings. And Sandro Lukovic third in the standings on 32 points. Okay, next race already out. Pre-final list will be for the juniors, who always provide plenty of fireworks. I certainly did here last year, but I wanted to see driving standards issues last year. But Nigel Edwards, the clerk of the course, and the rest of the team have really tried to instill in these drivers that it's the first round of the championship, and you really do need to think about the long-term gain. Right, there is the grid on screen for this race, and Josh Price has been fantastic this weekend. He's taken heat wins. He was fastest in qualifying, and this is his first full campaign in Euro Challenge racing. He has had the odd race before, but Josh on pole position in kart 27, the British driver, and Connor Hall, his fellow countryman in kart 22, will start the race alongside. He's the former Welsh champion, comes from Clevedon in Bristol, and also won the Winter Cup at the start of the season, a race Josh Price might have won had he not had more bad luck in the final. And then on the second row of the grid, we've got Lando Norris, who's been pulling off some blinding overtaking moves, the young British driver, particularly on the way into turn one, where he was immense on the brakes yesterday. Did some fantastic moves from a long way back. And Shanika Clay, the Sri Lankan, starts on the outside of row 2. On row 3, we've got Jack Bartholomew and Matthias S. Christensen. On row 4, it's Senna Sakaguchi, the Japanese driver, and then number 66, which is Nick Dunker from Holland. On row 5, Rinus van Kamthu and Jay Nijar. On row 6, we've got Guan Yu Zhu. Watch for Guan, because he's been a race winner in the Euro Challenge, and he went well in his heats yesterday, but he got one 10-second penalty for a jump start, which ruined his result in one of the heats, which is why he's a bit further back. But he's quicker than the 6th row of the grid and might well come through. Dennis Teese is alongside him on the 6th row, the Dutch driver. Then we've got Lars Lamberel, and all the way from Jamaica, Thomas Issa, who's been impressive this weekend on row 7. On row 8, Jack McCarthy and Berke Besler, the Turkish driver. Row 9, number 65, Nathan Hedwin, and this might be one to watch, Tommy Preining, the Pro Train Racing driver, who was one of the top seeds last year and had bad luck in qualifying, but has been working his way through from lowly grid positions, and he might well do something good here from the 9th row, as might Max Aitken, who's right behind him. So Mitchell Chi Min Jae and Max Aitken completing the top 20 on the grid, and they're almost now ready for the start of the race, Ken.
Yeah, this one is, dare I say it, hot in the mouth for the first 2 turns for these juniors. They did have a few issues, as you rightly say, Chris, last year, and even in the Winter Cup a little bit. But I think they've listened to race director Nigel Edwards. I think they've listened to Thomas Line, and we get a start. Yes, we do, and that's Josh Price immediately jumping to the lead from Lando Norris.
And Price is spun.
Josh Price
tapped
has spun,
into a spin.
And so many other drivers have collected him. Lando Norris continues in the lead, and have to say, we must have some of the major runners in there. I think I saw Jack Bartholomew, possibly. Little Senna Sakaguchi, I think, is still out there chasing the front, but
Tommy Preining caught up in that
Thomas
one as
Preining,
well.
I can see just the body language kicking away, but let's try and stay positive for the moment. How do you stay positive? And what did I say less than 30 seconds ago? Let's hope we can get through the first 2 turns. On screen, you see that these guys are comfortably spread. A little bit disappointing, to say the least. Lando Norris immediately into the lead and has held that lead throughout. Kart number 40, Jack Bartholomew, who I did call, I believe. Don't think I did call Guan Yu Zhou as I saw them. Lars Lamberel going through 4th, and Connor Hall eventually going through in 5th place. But just trying to see who we've lost out there. Well, Thomas Issa from Jamaica was called by Chris. Senna Sakaguchi called by myself. He's still running in 25th place, but Thomas Issa's still running, but 30th. Ed Tansley still running, but 31st. Nathan Edwan and Mitch Chimanji from Malaysia not continuing to run. Disappointing start, Chris, but hey, it's a pre-final over 9 laps. There's still plenty of good racing.
Not sure we'll be seeing too much more of Yuri Vips, even the number 31, who obviously got caught up in all of that because his rear bumper hanging loose by quite a long way. So the 31 car in trouble and already a long way down the order anyway. Norris leads then at the end of this second lap of 9. Then it's Bartholomew. Then it's Guan Yu Zhu, who profited from all of that and has got himself into third place, having started way back 12th on the grid. So Guan Yu Zhu, the Shanghai driver, races with a British licence and has raced in the British Championship, runs in third place. Then it's Connor Hall in fourth. Then it's Lars Lamberel running in fifth place. And then it's Shanika Clay, sixth. Look, here they come then into the right-hand hairpin on your screens on RGMMC TV. Exiting there, going along the back freeway straight. The top two have made a bit of a break for it. There they go. You can see that slight gap back to third, fourth, fifth and sixth then running together. Seventh is Jane Nijar. Then it's Besler, Wooder, Hambrecht and Keane also running in the top 10 as they come through turn 8 now down towards turn 9, this back straight. Little dab on the brakes, right then left through the S section and towards the end of the lap. So lots of drama here. Where is Josh Price? He's 24th.
Josh Price, yes, in 24th place, but looks to be trying to pluck the places back as he can. Having said Josh in 24th, Lando Norris in 1. I remember you saying in commentary yesterday how late on the brakes he is, and I have to say that I thought moments ago that Jack Bartholomew was possibly just reeling in Lando Norris slightly, but from just about this point of the circuit onwards, the right-hand hairpin onto the freeway straight, the long straight here at Genk, we saw that Jack Bartholomew was not able to take anything out of Lando Norris, and if anything, Lando a little bit quicker, late on the brakes as ever, and he maintains his advantage at something like 5 kart lengths. Guan Yu Zhou is getting a little bit closer to Jack Bartholomew, but not in a position to make a challenge at the moment. 4th place driver Lars Lamberel, the first of the non-Brits, fifth place driver Lars Lamberel is the first of the non-Brits, but he's detached a little bit in kart 78, and behind him, or 78 and 79, Shanaka Clay, and 78 Lars Lamberel, guys having a little bit of a mini scrap of themselves in 5th and 6th. This is lap 5 of a 9-lap junior pre-final.
Yeah, Shanika Clay getting back up into 5th place, going onto the back straight on the previous lap. The gaps between the top 4 coming down. We've lost out of the race as a result of that first corner incident. Che Min Ji, the Malaysian driver, headwind as well. Salva and Vips has retired now. Vips has retired or been told to leave the circuit because of his rear bumper hanging off, and then there's a dozen other drivers that are way down the field because of the result of that. Tight for second and third, and one kart then running into the air. I think it might have been Connor Hall who got a piggyback as he tried to squeeze through and gain a place, and that might have cost him one as well. 30 years, no it wasn't, it was Guan Yu Zhu, it was his teammate Guan Yu Zhu who's dropped from 3rd to 5th because of that. So the race leader remains Norris. Bartholomew is 2nd. Connor Hall is safe in 3rd. Shanika Clay gains a place and moves up to 4th place. Guan Yu Zhu, I think, might have got a piggyback on his teammate. There's a change for 2nd place
Connor
here.
Hall goes through, Chris.
Connor Hall, is through to 2nd position now. Good clean move that to get ahead of Jack Bartholomew. And Jack has now got the very quick Shanika Clay closing up to him. You'll see them coming in now, 3rd and 4th, like into the right-hander here. Guan Yu Zhu still in the mix as well as they go into the back straight, Ken.
Chris, just looking outside the top 10, Darren Keane, the diminutive kid from Florida, only just made the cut into the final, but is running 12th at the moment. One of the beneficiaries, perhaps, of the carnage early on, but a good drive for Darren Keane from Keane Racing, would you believe? And hi to his dad. Darren Keane going well in 12th place. Just looking a little bit below him, 14th place for Max Timmermans, the Belgian, who shows form in sort of fits and starts. When it comes right for Max, he can certainly go well. Well, this is the start of lap 7 of a 9-lap pre-final. And is this a bid for the lead by Connor Hall? Yes, it is a bid, and he's made it stick. So at turn 1 on lap 7 of the 9-lap junior pre-final, Connor Hall gets in front of Lando Norris. Jack Bartholomew remains in 3rd place onto the back straight for the 7th time of 9.
There's a good move from Lars Lamberel as well toward the end of the lap on the way. We saw it on the TV cameras on the way into turn 9 to get himself ahead of Guan Yu Zhu into 5th place. Another change of lead here, swapping back. Lando Norris gets the place back into 1st place, back ahead of Connor Hall. Then it's Bartholomew leading everybody else in 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th altogether. Janie Jar at the back of this group. You'll see in the black race suit trying to catch them up as well. 3rd and 4th absolutely side by side, and a change again on the way into turn 9. And through goes Shanika Clay ahead of Jack Bartholomew. Lovely move that. Meanwhile, the top 2 going into the final corner. Defensive line on the way into the last turn from Norris. Might this give Connor Hall a chance? And it's absolutely nip and tuck for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Bartholomew's third. And Janica Clay gets through as well. No change up front. It's all about this battle for third, fourth, fifth and sixth. And somehow they all squeeze into the corner without belting each other off. Very tight that was, but good driving from all of them. Jay Nijar, I was saying, catching the pack. He's made a place up now. So he's gone into sixth position as they run onto the back straight for the penultimate time here, Ken.
Well, Lando Norris still holding the lead, and you said nobody's belted anybody off, but there were one or two little nudges that we possibly saw out of the corner of our eye, and those of you tuned into RGMMC TV may have seen them. But the shakedown is that Lando Norris does retain his lead from Connor Hall, Jack Bartholomew and Lars Lamberell. That has been a good dice for third and fourth and remains it, just having another peep at the scrap. But I have to go with the front two, because Connor Hall looking for a big wide sweep to carry the speed through. He's got himself positioned nicely. Oh, but Lando Norris just able to cut across his bows and close off any passing move. But Hall still battling away. But Lando Norris, quarter of the way round the final lap, still holding on narrowly to this advantage from Connor Hall.
Going on to the last lap as well, through the last turn, Guan Yu Zhu got a good run, got into third place. He got ahead of Jack Bartholomew, as did Shanika Clare, I think it was. So those two pushing Jack down to fifth place now. So down to fifth place he goes on the start of this final lap. Half a lap to go then. And the race leader, Lando Norris, has still not got this one won yet. Can he be the early championship leader? Can he pick up the maximum 34 points? We'll see them heading towards turn 9 shortly, and he takes a very defensive line here, Ken.
Yes, and I'm not sure, what do I know? But I'm not so sure that it wouldn't have been better for Lando to just keep the pace on. Once again, Connor Hall going for the big extravagant sweep, but Lando just closing off him. It's a drag to the flag, but by 3/4 of a kart length, Lando Norris wins it from Connor Hall. Guan Yu Zhou third, and Chris Hartley pointing out that it's just about a dead heat between Guan Yu Zhou and Lars Lamberell, and that 0.46 of a second covers 4 drivers. We never mentioned him in race commentary, or at least I didn't, and I'm not sure if you did, Chris, but David Wooder got himself very much handily placed late on and has come home in the top 5. Jack Bartholomew 6th. I guess that Jay Nijar and Shanika Clay both might have felt they could have done a little bit better. A great drive by Philip Hambrecht into 9th place, and Barke Besler is going to be well pleased with a top 10 finish in 10th. I mentioned again Darren Keen's 12th. That was a good effort by the kid from Florida.
Yeah, great stuff that, wasn't it? I mean, a real shame about the huge pileup that we had at the start of the race, and sorry for those drivers. But otherwise, fantastic battle, wasn't it? So there are the results on screen. Lando Norris wins by the huge margin of, wait for it, 0.063 seconds. Then Guan Yu Zhu, who got the hammer down coming out of the last corner, really flying along and just managed to pip. I mean, they're on the same thousandths of a second, but the transponder, if it was maybe positioned 2 millimetres further forward on Guan Yu Zhu's kart, that was worth doing, because he gains third place, even though it was an absolute dead heat with Lars Lamberell. So Lando Norris first, Connor Hall second, Guan Yu Zhu third, Lars Lamberell breaking up those British flags on screen there, with the Dutch flag to come home in 4th place. David Wedder, good drive, as Ken was saying, to 5th place. Jack Bartholomew just went back a bit at the end there, just got pushed offline and lost 2 or 3 places at the end. He comes home in 6th. Still a good driver, though. Good result for the Coles Racing driver. Jay Nijar was 7th. Shanika Clay lost out in the last lap or so of that race and ended up down in 8th place, which will be a disappointment to the Sri Lankan. Philip Hamprecht there 9th. Berke Besler, the Turkish driver, 10th. That was one who, he was a bit higher than that at one point, Berke, having avoided all the carnage, but slipped back to 10th in the end. Marvin Pionka, Darren Keen just outside the top 10. Dennis Becker's 13th. Max Timmermans 14th. Lorenzo van Riet 15th. Mark Moore 16th, and Dennis Thies was home in 17th place in that race. Max Aitken coming home in 18th place, the number 5 seed, and Josh Price, after being getting into a spin, which I'm pretty convinced wasn't all of his own doing. I think he got a little bit of a helping hand from behind that sent him into a spin. And Josh recovered in the end to 19th place. Really disappointing for him. Shadowing almost what happened to him at the Winter Cup. He was really good in the run-up to the big finals. He won the pre-final, in fact. And then he got taken out in the final. Visnicki coming home in 20th place. And then Elise Shahen 21st, Ralph Aron 22nd, Rinus van Kom through 23rd, Thomas Isa, one that's gone well this weekend but got caught up in all of that, as did Seneca Sakaguchi, Tommy Prining, those three drivers all in that carnage at the first corner, and not necessarily their own fault, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nick Dunker got caught out in that as well. He went down in 27th place. The non-finishers in that race, Thomas Salva, Nathan Hedwen, Mitchell Che Min Ji, also out of the running. So a lively start to the junior encounter. We'll see them again in the final later on. And Josh Price going to have to start 19th on the grid now for the final. Of course, he's lost a chunk of points here. That will be incredibly disappointing for him, and I'm sure he's very frustrated. But at least he did manage to come back, because he would have been almost dead last at